Hello, the intention of this video is to demonstrate the Upchain viewer license. So to do this, we're going to be logging in as a user called Vicky Viewer. Notice here on the right that I'm specifying her license type to specifically be a viewer. Okay, so let's go ahead and log in as Vicky. Okay, so here we are doing a fresh login. Again, I'm going to log in as Vicky. So I'm going to select her user alias there is the one that I want to log in with right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and log in. Now, when Vicky or when one of these viewer licenses logs in, they're going to see the exact same interface that everyone sees. Okay, there's a few menus that are not going to show up, and I'll point those out in just a moment. But the basic overall high-level interface is exactly the same. There are no changes. So, for example, as Vicky, I can see all of my projects here on the home page. Let's go ahead and dive into one of these. Here on the left, she's going to see the same menu structure that all of my users are going to see. So she can see the project dashboard here. She can get the bill of materials information. Now, one of the things to point out here is that notice that everything on screen is released. That is one stipulation with this viewer license, is that this type of user, because it's a free license, we do restrict them to only being able to see release data. They can't see what we call development or work in process data. So that is one stipulation. But they can see the BOM and all the information contained therein. They can see project management information, although they can't add new tasks. They can see the project plan itself. They can see all of the business processes, so change request, investigation request, requirements management objects, change notices, quality assurance objects. They can see all of those things. They can see documents. Now here again, there's a slight stipulation. Notice the document status is over here. This user can only see what we call published, or if you want to think of them as released or production documents. So just like we kind of have a restriction on the bill of materials items, we have a slight restriction here where they can only see published or released documents. And then here on the project details page, no changes. Notice that they can see the project team. So Vicky's able to see all of the folks that are on this team. So let's go back to the bill of materials here. Now, one stipulation here is when Vicky clicks on an object. So when she clicks the actions icon here, okay, this menu structure is restricted a little bit. Okay, so a normal, well, not normal, but a professional user. So let's say the highest license type that we have. This menu looks much more extensive, right? So as you might expect, Vicky has a few less commands available to her. So she can view things, models and drawings. I'll show you that in a moment. Of course, she can favorite things. She can run some reports and things like that. She can also export things, which is kind of interesting. So she's got some export capability here. In terms of visualization, that's all available to her. So she can see, models, she can see drawings and things like that. So she can come in here and do markups and things like that. So notice in here, she could cut cross sections. Let's just cut one of those real quick, right? So she could drag planes through and things like that. She could explode the assembly and do things like that, which is kind of neat. She can come in and create measurements like so. She can, redline and create notes and things like that. So let's just put a quick note in here. Hey, this is too big or whatever, right? And then she can actually save that markup, give it a name, and that markup will travel. So this is one of the few areas, specifically the markup area, is one of the few areas where this user can actually create something, okay? Generally speaking, this user cannot create things. They cannot create new artifacts and so on, but they can create new markups, and those will show up over here on the right under the markup tab. So any other user, not just viewers, but professional users, participant licenses, team licenses, all of those folks will be able to see these markups that Vicky has created. So from a visualization perspective, she has all the same capability that any user would have. Additionally, over here on the right, she can see all the business processes associated to this assembly. If there are documents, specifically published documents, she'll be able to see those here. Okay, so she can download, documents that are associated to this. She can run where used reports, just like kind of a standard user here. She can see the suppliers that have been assigned to this object. Now, if she does a search, I'm going to do a search for a snap ring because I've got a lot of those in my system here. Here again, just like you saw on the bomb just a moment ago, the only stipulation is she can only search for released documents or released artifacts. Okay, she's not going to be able to see what we call development or work in process data. But other than that, this user, this viewer license type that we have, the interface looks like the standard interface. They can visualize things. They can look at bombs, projects, documents. They can do most of the things that our standard professional license user can do. There's just a few stipulations which I've mentioned during the course of the video. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Thanks.